Chloe, no last name, just the girl who paints Cresthaven's secrets onto canvas, leans against the hallway thermostat at 7:19 p.m., hoodie slipping off one shoulder, bare feet cold on the hardwood. The apartment smells like turpentine, chamomile, and the first bite of winter sneaking through the vents. A single fairy light strand flickers above the radiator like it's shivering too. The heater's been dead since noon. The repair guy is 20 minutes late, and I'm already regretting the call until the doorbell buzzes. You guys will never believe what happened. I'm Chloe, 22, and this is happening right now, 7:19 p.m. on a Thursday in late November. The radiator is still ice cold. The fairy lights are still flickering. The echo of his knock is still vibrating in my ribs, and the faint scent of cedar and engine oil is already curling through the cracked door. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, drop a comment if you've ever had a repair call turn into this. Let's go. I open the door. Everett stands there, toolbox in one hand, paper coffee cup in the other. Two lids, steam sneaking out like secrets. Salt and pepper hair, green eyes that catalog every detail, flannel sleeves rolled high, forearms dusted with sawdust, and a faint grease streak on one knuckle. A tiny scar near his elbow catches the hallway light, a thin white line from some long-ago job. Heater? He asks, half-smile, calm as November rain. Dead, I answer, stepping aside. Welcome to the icebox. He crosses the threshold like he's been here before in another life. Boots off at the mat, slow, deliberate, socks dark with rain. He sets the coffee on the counter, hands me one cup. Our fingers brush, static. Figured you'd be cold, he says. I wrap both hands around the cup. You read minds now? Only the obvious ones. The tension coils, quiet, electric. He kneels by the radiator, tools clinking like soft bells. I hover, useless, hoodie slipping lower, goosebumps racing across my collarbone. He doesn't look up right away, just runs a calloused thumb along the pipe, listening to the silence where heat should be. Old building, he murmurs. These units hate surprises. Tell me about it, I say, and my voice comes out breathier than planned. Small talk starts safe, weather, brutal. Coffee, perfect, my latest canvas, half finished. Raw red, no title. But every answer pulls us closer. He asks about the paint under my nails. I ask about the scar on his wrist. He tells me it's from a slipped wrench when he was 19. I tell him the red canvas is about waiting for something to catch fire. His eyes flick up, storm green, unreadable, then back to the pipe. Sometimes you just gotta bleed the air out, he says. Sometimes you gotta let the heat in, I answer. He twists the valve. A hiss, a groan. Then, click, whoosh. Warmth floods the room like a slow exhale. The radiator clanks, steadies, hums. He stands, wipes his hands on a rag, and suddenly the apartment feels smaller, warmer, dangerous. Should hold, he says. I step closer, bare feet on warm wood now, until the space between us is just coffee steam and heartbeats. You didn't have to bring coffee, I say. Figured you'd be cold, he repeats, softer. I'm not anymore. His gaze drops to my mouth, lingers, climbs back up. Chloe, he says, my name careful, like it might burn. I've been noticing you for a while, I whisper. I noticed. I reach out, fingertips brushing the stubble along his jaw. He catches my wrist, not to stop me, just to hold, thumb pressing the frantic pulse there. His skin is warm, radiator warm, rain cool at the edges. You should invoice me, I say. Consider it neighborly, he answers, but his grip tightens. Neighbors don't look at each other like that. Neighbors don't stand this close. For a moment, we're statues. Then he leans in, slow, deliberate, until his forehead rests against mine. Coffee breath, cedar, the faint metallic tang of tools. Tell me to leave, he murmurs. Stay, I answer. The heat's finally working. Might as well enjoy it. He smiles then, real and reckless, and sets the rag on the counter like a white flag. Outside, the first snow starts to fall, silent against the window. Inside, we don't cool down. We talk in whispers, about the scar, about the canvas, about the way the radiator hums like it's singing back up. We laugh when the coffee spills, mop it up with the sleeve of my hoodie, end up closer than before. When the clock hits 9:42, he pulls me onto the couch, blanket around us both, and we watch the snow paint the fire escape white. He tells me about the orchids in his greenhouse that refuse to bloom until the first hard frost. I tell him the red canvas is finally getting a title tonight. He brushes a snowflake from my hair at 10:17 p.m. Still cold? He asks. Good, I whisper back. Let it stay. The snow thickens, muffling the city into a hush. The radiator keeps humming, steady as a heartbeat. We shift on the couch until my head rests on his shoulder, his arm draped along the back, fingers tracing idle circles on my upper arm. The fairy lights blink slower, like they're settling in for the night. I close my eyes and breathe him in. Cedar, coffee, the faint warmth of the room finally winning against the cold. His thumb finds the pulse at my wrist again, counts it like he's memorizing the rhythm. At 11:03, he stands, pulls me up with him. "Show me the canvas," he says. I lead him to the corner where the easel waits, half hidden under a drop cloth. I tug it away. Raw red strokes slash across the linen, violent and alive. He studies it in silence, then reaches out, thumb hovering just above the paint, not quite touching. "It's angry," he says. "It's waiting," I correct. He turns to me, eyes soft. "What for?" "You," I say, and the word hangs between us like the last snowflake before it melts. He kisses me then, slow, deliberate, like he's been holding it back since the first hiss of the valve. My hands fist in his flannel. His palms slide to my waist, lifting me onto the low table beside the easel. Paintbrushes clatter to the floor. The radiator clanks in approval. Outside, the snow keeps falling, erasing footprints, erasing everything but this room, this moment, this heat. Midnight finds us back on the couch. Blanket forgotten, my legs across his lap, his fingers tracing the line of my knee like he's mapping new territory. He tells me about the first winter he spent alone after she died, how the greenhouse orchids refused to open until he stopped trying to force them. I tell him about the night I moved into this apartment 2 years ago, how the radiator hissed like it was angry at me for existing. He answers with another kiss, softer this time, like punctuation. At 1:27 a.m., the power flickers. Once, twice, then steadies. The fairy lights dim to a single bulb, casting the room in a gold so faint it feels like a secret. He stands, offers his hand. "Come on." I follow him to the window. Snow has piled on the sill, thick enough to muffle the world. He presses his palm to the glass. I cover it with mine. Our breath fogs the pane in matching clouds. "Still cold?" he asks again. "Never was," I say. We end up on the floor, backs against the radiator, its warmth seeping through flannel and hoodie and skin. He pulls a sketchbook from the coffee table, flips to a blank page, hands me a pencil. "Draw me," he says. I do. Quick lines, the slope of his shoulder, the scar, the way his hair falls across his forehead. He watches my hands, not the paper. When I finish, he takes the pencil, turns the page, draws me, hoodie slipping, eyes half closed, mouth curved in a smile I didn't know I was wearing. We trade the book back and forth until the lines blur into something neither of us can name. At 2:11, the radiator gives a satisfied clunk, like it's done its job and is ready to sleep. "We're not." He stands, pulls me up, leads me to the kitchen where the coffee cups sit forgotten. He pours the dregs into one mug, hands it to me. "Last sip," he says. I drink. It's cold, bitter, perfect. He takes the mug, sets it down, kisses the taste from my lips. The snow stops sometime after 3. The city is white and silent outside the window. Inside, the radiator hums low. The fairy light finally gives up and goes dark. We don't notice. We're on the couch again, tangled under the blanket. His heartbeat under my ear, my fingers tracing the scar on his wrist like it's a map to somewhere I've always wanted to go. Dawn creeps in around 5:47, pale and shy through the blinds. He stirs first, presses a kiss to my temple. "Gotta check the greenhouse," he murmurs. I nod, half asleep, already missing the weight of him. He stands, pulls on his boots, leaves the flannel on the floor like a promise. At the door, he pauses, looks back. "Still warm?" he asks. "Burning," I answer. Chloe winks at the camera, phone propped on the windowsill, battery dead, red light long gone. And that's how fixing the heater became everything. Cresthaven's got a way of making cold nights spark, doesn't it? Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment your wildest repair story. Chloe's dangerous desires just turned up the heat.